Can I help you with something?
Where's Hirono-kun?
I'm sorry, he's sleeping right now. You can't reach him anymore. I'm not going to let that happen. I'm always going to be by his side. I already told you that. It's over.
That's a huge bitch!
Much better. After Sheen tries to get Kay over again by making her look sex attract, we cut back to 13 hours. 13 hours? 13 hours. 13 hours.
Hello there, Chihiro.
What's for lunch today?
Anyone else sick of this yet? The problem with this, by which I mean the writing of the entire story, is that by constantly hitting the reset button on Chihiro, it robs incidents like the one on the beach of all relevance. It strips all drama away when events like that bear no consequences. Kei's behavior might be the worst thing ever, but it's not like Miyako's gonna wake up the next morning, forget it all happened, and go on as though everything is the way it was. Because those events have a lasting impact. The audience is given a reason to care because there's continuity between those events and what happens next. Here, there's none of that. And that's because Chihiro can just lie to herself by commission or omission and completely derail the plot, which is what has happened here. The problem of the situation should be about how Renji is failing at this relationship thing because he has no idea what he's doing. Instead, he repeatedly avoids reprisals because there's no one to hold him accountable, and, therefore, he doesn't learn anything. We'll get to that can of worms at the end. For now, I just don't care about any of this because these dramatic, emotional, overwrought climaxes end up causing nothing time and time again, and it's like a especially powerful slap in the face for caring at all to begin with. Because what's the point if it doesn't matter?
So, how many points do I get today?
Oh geez, where are my priorities at? We need more food! Wait a minute. They're at Renji's school, right? How did Chihiro get there? No, I'm serious. Let's really think about this for a second. Let's assume Chihiro has a reference in her diary for how to get to the train station. I mean, she must, right? She certainly can't remember how to get there. But the entire reason she's comfortable going to the train station alone, as established early on, is that there's no one there. Even if we assume that she has detailed instructions on how to get to the library every single day, how does she summon the motivation? We saw before that one day she wants to write a book, and then the next, she doesn't because of no reasons. So what, now she wants to write this book every single day? Why? Even before, when Renji had offered to help her multiple times, that wasn't enough to convince her every day. But now it just is? Consistency! Furthermore, how does she make it to the library every single day? This seems exceedingly improbable. All it would take is one teacher who doesn't recognize her questioning her one time. I mean, we've seen how utterly terrible she is at lying to another kid. You think she'd fool an adult who's probably used to hearing BS excuses from kids every single day?
The plot holes! There's too many of them! She can't take much more, Captain! Oh!
Hiro tries to call Miyako, but the fountain isn't picking up. After he gives Kei an ice pack for her knee, we cut to... What the fuck was that? No, seriously, what is this imagery? I get that Miyako's trying to get to the roof and she wants Hiro to be there so badly that she's trying to force it into being. But what's with the wings and the feathers? Is the show implying that Miyako is an angel and her wings are molting? Why? Is the contrasting red filter supposed to imply that she's slowly descending into hell? Well, she's not an angel. Not even close. She's not even very innocent. Are they supposed to be bird feathers? That doesn't really fit because there's absolutely nothing thematic about birds in this series. So what the hell is going on here? It's because the show sucks! Surprise!
Renji-kun, did you decide what you want to be?
Huh?
Well, you took a career path questionnaire, didn't you?
How do you remember that? Have you been writing this borderline irrelevant piece of information in your diary every day, even when you don't talk to him about it, while you can only manage to describe him as some lanky dude in school clothes? But you want to know what's even worse? Him not filling out his stupid school questionnaire is actually a relevant plot point here. But in the visual novel's story, he filled it out before the halfway point. Yeah, he actually decided to write novelist on it and turned it in. Sure, he caught some hell for it, but he did it nonetheless. It was a sign that he was starting to mature and that his relationship with Chihiro was causing him to mature slowly and take life more seriously. But fuck that, am I right? Depriving him of all motivation and character development is way better.
I realize how far behind I am. I'm just not that talented.
So why should I care? You can't have him be both worthless and relevant. That's not how it works.
I'm about to finish my novel when I had totally given up on the idea. It's all because of you. Even if I only had a 13-hour memory span.
Wait, what do you mean by even if? I thought you did have a memory defect. No, I was talking about a bowl of macaroni. Oh, come on, that doesn't even make sense. Oh, you're so mean. Riveting dialogue! After Chihiro and Renji decide to stop talking about things that matter and play with their penis castle, Miyako goes to the ruins of the past town and has a cryptic, weird conversation with Yuko that makes no sense. But even though that scene lasts for less than 30 seconds, Renji's suddenly at the church with Himura again, and even though it was just sunset, the bright, sterling light spilling in through the door makes it look like it's morning.
Hello, yes. This is Nagi Shindo speaking. A one-off story? Well... Okay, I'll give it a try.
You just said you were going to take a break!
I can't turn down a job like this. I'm just starting my career. I have to grab every opportunity.
Well, go right ahead.
Where are you going?
Wait, hang on a second. This gets so much better.
I'll get rusty if I don't practice.
Idiot! They just told you need to take it easy.
I don't see you taking care of yourself either.
If you hurt your knee, you'll have to give up basketball. If I stop writing, then these jobs will go to someone else.
My starting position is on the line too.
Big deal. Is that more important than your walking?
You're an idiot!
K1 Hero 0.
That's a huge bitch!
I mean, seriously, how much dumber can you get? And yeah, you should probably take off running considering you have a woefully injured knee. Who's the idiot again?
How many hours was I asleep?
Ah!
I need to know how long I was sleeping!
So look at a clock. Why is everyone in this show an idiot? Well, apparently this library has more in common with a casino than an actual library, but with that extremely important scene out of the way, we immediately cut back to more of Kay's BS.
That idiot! How does he think he's going to handle more work with his attendance record on the borderline as it is?
Don't expect him to think ahead.
My God. How did I not see it before? These two are actually perfect for each other. They're both so unbelievably awful.
What made you start playing basketball?
I don't know, I just always liked it. I get such a rush from running a fast break past the defense and scoring a basket.
Same as me then. I get a rush from capturing a shot out of time and space. That just shakes me to the core.
I take it back. No one deserves this shitheel. Just to further bury this cock stain under the weight of his pretentious flimgobbery, I'd like to point out that he has already said he has no idea what he's looking for when it comes to being shaken to the core. So how can he possibly know what it feels like? I mean, if he'd already accomplished this, he would already know a lot about what would ignite that response within him. But he also openly admitted that he has no vision, no inkling of what he's trying to capture. See, this is what happens when you constantly spout meaningless, empty, pretentious art speak. Eventually, you contradict yourself since everything you're saying has no substance because, by your own admission, you have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
That just shakes me to the core.
What does that mean?
Nothing! Absolutely nothing!
Even if this asshole never said anything this harebrained before, I'd still hate him for this sentence alone because it perfectly illustrates that his head is so far up his own ass that he's on the verge of collapsing in on himself like a dying sun. Actually, wait, that's too nice because black holes are really cool and there is nothing interesting about this cunt.
I hate when people get that kind of attitude. Don't talk like you know everything.
Oh, like you have any room to talk.
That's a huge bitch!
We cut to Chihiro in the bath, repeating the conversation she had with Renji that day, word for word in what should be a scene demonstrating how much she cares about him and how devoted she is. But just listen to the voice acting.
It's delicious. I always look forward to the lunches you make me. How many points do I get today? It's so yummy, I don't think I can put a number on it.
I am Chihiro Tron 5000. I love within for you, Renji. Kun, for truly be. It. Am.
It's fine. I still remember.
What?
It's fine. I still remember.
So then your memory defect doesn't matter. Let's map this out carefully because it's actually completely impossible unless the show has flat out given up. Let's say the incident on the beach occurred around 7 p.m. on day 1 since it was sunset. That means she would forget about it at roughly 8 a.m. the next morning, day 2. Day 2 is the day that Renji met her in the library and had lunch with her. Since she's getting up at midnight in this scene, let's assume that this is her habit and that she got up at midnight, the beginning of day 2, on the same night that the beach incident happened and refreshed her memory or whatever. She would then still forget about it at 1 p.m. on day 2, 13 hours later. Yet here we are, midnight of day 3, another 11 hours after that, and she still somehow remembers what happened on the beach. Or at least I assume that's what she's talking about since she said, "I still remember," followed by a montage of what happened there. This would mean that she has retained this memory for 29 hours. More than double her maximum. That is absolutely, completely, unequivocally impossible. See, in the visual novel, the rules are very clear. When Chihiro makes a memory, a 13-hour timer starts, and 13 hours later, that memory is gone. But there's a single caveat. If she does reread her diary just before the memory would go away, she can retain it for, and I'm quoting, a few extra hours. But nope, she can reread her diary at any point in her memory cycle and retain a memory for another full cycle indefinitely. Then your memory defect doesn't matter. If this is the case, why hasn't she been doing this for her entire life? Why has she let anything significant fade away? You've effectively destroyed all of your shackle and stained glass imagery because there is officially no reason why, at any point in time, Chihiro has ever forgotten anything. There's no reason why she couldn't remember Renji's face from day to day, and, well, I guess there's no reason why she couldn't remember where to go in the school, and hell, there's no reason why she gave up on writing her novel 31 motherfucking times when she could easily just reread it every single day and never forget. As a matter of fact, she wouldn't even need to read the entire thing. According to this scene, she could just read a plot summary from her diary and it would call to mind all the details. It would be so absurdly easy that there's legitimately no reason why she shouldn't have accomplished it already on her own. I mean, has she been screwing with Hiro all along? Was that entire first scene on the beach an act? I'd assume it wasn't, but how am I supposed to know? I don't know what to think anymore. I mean, if it was all real, then why hasn't she tried to remember anything before now? How is it possible that these writers have somehow managed to take the simplest of plot points and unspool it into an indecipherable, tangled disaster in one scene? So why change this? Well, we'll get there. For now, let's watch Himura be an asshole and then an idiot for no reason.
What are you doing?
This is useless.
It's not useless.
You can't keep this up.
It's mine. Reggie-kun is in there, please. I will never forget this.
Well, okay.
I will never forget this.
Well, okay. Let me give you your only means of not forgetting it then. Makes sense. What was my motivation in this scene again?
You are all weirdos.
What was it like when we first met?
You were just looking at the sky. You just kind of sitting there looking up. It was a strange feeling.
The sky. I think I remember.
No, you fucking don't! I feel like this is going to go poorly.
May I ask you something? Would you please hold my hand?
Oh no, Renji!
Well, no, but all the same, it still doesn't go well. Renji goes to Himura's house the next day to find out that Chihiro only put a 7 in Constitution and failed her Fortitude save or something. Whatever, their explanation makes about as much sense.
Do they know what happened to Chihiro?
Fatigue, lack of sleep, and psychological stress.
So, she's not sick? Then what the hell? Himura says that he let Chihiro sleep past her time limit, and so when she wakes up, she freaks out, having forgotten every single thing since the accident. The scene is actually very effective, striking, and genuinely uncomfortable to watch. That is, until...
Do you know who I am?
Your big brother, Himura.
You remembered, didn't you? That's good. Do you understand? This is Chihiro.
Do you see it? Maybe yes? Maybe no? Well, let me explain to you exactly why these genius writers can't help but destroy what should be yet another great scene. As I said, this was a great scene, but sometimes all it takes to unravel even the most beautiful, elaborate tapestry is to pull a single thread. And Himura has done just that. Let's get that line one more time.
Do you understand? This is Chihiro.
Do you hear how little emotion there is in his voice? And why is this the first thing he says after Chihiro collapses? Why didn't he get her back into bed right away? Well, because that's obviously not what's important to him. What is important is making a point. He clearly wanted Renji to see this. But what about Chihiro? To get to this point, he had to intentionally let her forget everything. And he openly admits that that's exactly what he did.
She went over her time limit, so I'm just letting her sleep.
Judging from how little Himura panics in this scene, we can conclude that he has definitely seen this happen before. That means he knew exactly how she would react and did nothing anyway. If his first concern was her well-being, why wouldn't he have woken her up to prevent her from forgetting? I mean, yeah, she'd be tired, but she wouldn't have to go through psychological trauma.
I tried to wake her up, but couldn't.
That's not good enough.
I tried to wake her up, but couldn't.
Then shake her, you idiot. Do whatever you have to so that her world doesn't collapse around her. So clearly, he didn't. His first priority was making a point to Renji. What an unbelievable asshole. First, he slaps the shit out of Chihiro for no reason, and now he lets her collapse into a sobbing mess so that he can scare her boyfriend out of a relationship with her. Why is this necessary? Because he never actually tried to stop Renji from being with her, that's why. So this entire situation is caused by Himura's own ineptitude, and, in the end, Chihiro ends up victimized by him to pay the price for it. How absolutely disgusting. So, in the end, this scene is absolutely atrocious and completely ruined by the continued burial of Himura as a newly reinvented terrible person. Because we can't have you liking any of these characters now, can we? It's just pathetic. I mean, this is how little they cared about these new scenes they were making. This is how little thought they gave to how much it would devastate these characters. Pathetic. That's the word today. Pathetic. I'm done here, guys. Bye.
Let it all out. Let it all out. You don't have to think your heart is made.